President Muhammadu Buhari's newly constituted cabinet of 43 ministers is generating debates, especially about its composition and the suitability of the portfolios assigned. Out of the 43 positions, the Northwest alone, which is Buhari's zone, has 10 senior ministerial portfolios, including the President's portfolio as Substantive Minister of Petroleum, but no junior portfolio. The Southeast has 3 senior ministerial positions and 3 junior portfolios. The South-South has 3 substantive positions in the cabinet and 4 juniors. The Southwest has 5 substantive positions and 3 junior positions. The North Central has 3 senior positions and 4 junior positions, while the Northeast has 4 senior positions and 3 junior positions. The Northwest takes a generous portion both in number of portfolios and in the strength of the offices.
If a region, because Nigeria has 6 geopolitical zones, actually produce 10 or 43, I think the arithmetic is really not as it should be. But another flip discussion would be, are those persons, especially non-having been state ministers, qualified to occupy such positions? Those are the questions that we need to answer. But a situation where the allegations and concerns of people in the first term of the president surrounds or is about the same thing, I think then that the president would have been really circumspect in words, or would have been actually cautioned, as it were, when it comes to making decisions of such. So basically for me, it's something to worry about, because Nigeria belongs to every one of us and not to a segment of the country.
It's time Nigerians start looking at, do they merit it? Will they do the job? And we put them on their toe from day one. And if in the next 1 year we find that we put up mechanism with which if you don't perform in the office, you'll be fired.
Another aspect which seems not to sit well with some is the president's directive to the incoming ministers to channel all requests for meetings with him through his chief of staff, Abba Kyari.
Nigerians have a hand in how any minister in this country eventually emerges. There is no single Nigerian that is involved in the appointment of Abba Kyari. The reason being that the lawmakers that the ministers designate, who are now substantive ministers appeared before, are lawmakers representing every part of this country. Do not forget that when Abba Kyari was reappointed, it was announced. It did not stand before any Senate committee. It did not stand before anybody to say, yes, that's it. And it is one thing that I need us to understand here. There are times we just forget the procedures and forget the expectations of certain officers. If the president doesn't know, it's a large goof to have said that the ministers representing the nooks and crannies of this country should report to a man that did not receive the sanction of a singular lawmaker, especially during his reappointment. So I think people should understand that Abba Kyari should be completely out of the picture, especially when we talk about ministers of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Of chief of staff to either president, to either governor, to local government chairman, even in some private business units or outfits. What is the work of your chief of staff? The work of your chief of staff is to put up your daily routine, monitor your activities, and be able to make sure at appropriate time and moment, and according to your schedules, he meet up your schedules with relevant issues of the time. I believe that is what where the president is saying to Nigeria. Look, let us start working. We shouldn't involve in frivolous of I just want to go and see Mr. President because I know him. Because I'm a minister and I have a relationship with the president, I just take my car. I'm in the palace to see Mr. President. For what? If you want to see me, for so reason, let this man schedule you. Because he knew my schedules. I don't want to always... What I'm trying to do is that Nigerians should deviate from issue of what bothers us now is how do we put economic blueprint that will take this country out of the hole.
At the screening, one of the most eloquent ministerial nominees is perhaps the president's former campaign spokesperson, Festus Keyamo, who had been widely speculated to become Minister of Justice. Instead, he was given the Minister of State for Niger Delta.
When you talk about understanding the onions of the law or legalese, and you also want to talk about what people have done with the legal profession, the person of Festus Keyamo stands far ahead of Malami. And I stand here on international television to say I can't be corrected. As a matter of fact, one of the very major things that Keyamo did for even lawmakers was to ensure that people present budgets, especially ministries, departments, and agencies, and in fact, part of what he fought for, even when he was not a minister, was to ensure proper appropriation of budgetary allocation. Festus Keyamo did that for the Nigerian people to ensure accountability. But if I were to dig up information about Malami, one of the things he did that should not be found at the doorstep of the Minister of Justice of the most populous black nation in this world, which is Nigeria, is to have gone to as far as Dubai to meet with a fugitive. If to have been involved in certain monies paid to some people that should not have been paid because they said they helped to repatriate their Abacha loot. I think that certain things should not be found at the corridors of somebody who is the Minister of Justice.
Festus Keyamo is somebody that he has age by his side. Nigerians believe now in him, and I'm very happy with that. But the issue of portfolio, he can do as a lawyer. He can do well in any way you give to him. It must not necessarily be in the Attorney General's office. In fact, if you look at the enormous job, if really we are serious as people and we want to see and better the lot of the Niger Delta people with which that ministry is set up for, I think Festus Keyamo is better at that ministry because he is a young man who can easily mingle and engage with the Niger Delta youth. They will believe in him. They will crawl to them. They will work together because what we are thinking is the country.
Despite the debates raised by the ministerial portfolio distribution as announced by President Muhammadu Buhari on August 21st, Nigerians are unified in their expectations that these ministers will do better in all sectors. Rootstv, Nigeria.